Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jay,
And this is A.
and we're here for another recording of the Unfiltered Grapevine. Thank you for joining us one more time. Our goal today, or our subject of today, is decluttering and living within our means.
Okay. When he says that's our topic, he's using that term very, very loosely because we don't really know if that's what we're going to discuss. But every time we come to the microphone, we go, what are we talking about? We're like, we have no idea. All right, well, let's discuss this. Let's brainstorm this in like next 2 minutes. And then we come up with a subject. And then we don't know if we're actually going to talk about that.
Well, we always get sidetracked too because then something randomly comes out from left field and then we go on that track.
That is very, you know what? And we're going off left field right now. Here, give me this. Where's your pod decks thingies? Okay.
Okay, she's opening a deck of cards. And you can hear it. Click, click, click.
All right.
Oh.
The very first card, share your bucket list.
Oh, that's a good topic.
That is a good topic.
Well,
see?
let's see. We should.
Why are we even brainstorming when we have a deck of cards that tells us exactly what to do?
Because we just didn't do what we're supposed to do. Usually.
Yep.
So share your bucket list.
I love the universe. It just says, do that.
Well, my bucket list is to do a lot of traveling.
Mine too.
I really want to be able to do and go to many places that I should have done when I was younger.
Me too. I don't know if I should have done it when I was younger. I think right now is a really good time to do it. But I don't know to do it when I was younger. For me, I don't know about for you.
Well, I think I would have. If I've always held back, and you know this, because I never had really somebody to experience it with. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't want to travel and take my mom with me or my parents.
Sure.
I wanted to be with a significant other. Mm-hmm. Since I did not have the significant other, I didn't do all the traveling that I probably would have or should have.
Yeah.
I should never have had that been a barrier. Mm-hmm. I should have just done it.
Yeah.
Not to say I haven't done it, because there were trips that I took that were out of the blue, last minute.
Yeah.
Just like on a whim.
Yeah.
And I did them by myself. So it's not like I was incapable of it.
Yeah.
But I always thought
But it's more fun when you have somebody with
to
you.
enjoy
for sure.
it with.
Yeah. I think everyone can relate.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, of course, there could be trips. There were like guy friends to take the trip or whatever. I had a couple of those.
Sure.
But it's nothing like flying to Europe or something like that.
Yeah.
And enjoying, Paris with a romantic partner or Rome or something like that. Mm-hmm. So those visions have always been in my head. Mm-hmm. I still want to do that.
Gotcha.
And I hope that, I still have that possibility, that opportunity.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. So.
I mean, the reality is that opportunities are always there. Whether we take them or not, that's a whole other subject, right? Like the opportunity for travel was there for you. You just chose not to take it because you didn't want to do it alone.
Yeah. And then,
right?
of course, the logical part of me is like the finances of it all. Mm-hmm. Spending such money on stuff that could be used when you're on a tight budget or something and you could use it for something else. It's just that kind of reality of growing up and becoming an adult.
You know what? Screw logic. I'm sorry. That's and the reason why I say that. Yeah, here's the thing. I say that with a very heavy heart because we all know that we have responsibilities. I have a daughter. You can't just pick up and go just because you feel like picking up and go. Picking up and going? Does that sound right? Is that correct English?
Close enough.
Okay. English 101.
I won't do a laugh track on
I appreciate that. But I feel like sometimes we are too much in our heads that we overthink and overcomplicate things that really should not be that complicated. Because, and the reason why I say that is because at our age, right? And not to say that we're old, because we aren't. We're not super young, but we're not old either. Like, we are capable. We can, walk. We don't, we don't take medications or, any of those things, right? We're healthy overall. And we have the ability to do these things. And yet in our minds, we're going, oh, shoot, we shouldn't do this because, XYZ. What if, a hurricane hits? Not that one's going to come here where we live, but what if a hurricane hits and, we have to have that extra money for that? Well, if you're not living today, when the hell are you going to live? You ain't going to live when you're dead.
Correct. Yeah.
Your golden years, which is after you retire, that age is getting older and older and older. My sister's friend who just recently retired had a stroke a year within her retirement, and her husband just passed, all within the year of her retirement. If that's not a slap in the face to wake up and go, pay attention.
Yeah.
You live life right now.
Yeah, well, it goes back to that whole mantra that's very popular, the YOLO.
What is it? Oh, YOLO.
You only live once,
You know what?
Seize the moment.
I really don't like that saying. I don't. The YOLO. You only live once. Yeah. I feel like that takes away from living in the presence. Like living, yes, you only live once, but, and the reason why I say this is because I've seen a lot of people like, oh, YOLO, do this. And you know what? That's fine. But when you speed through the action, it doesn't really matter. You're not really obtaining.
Well, it's a matter of how you YOLO. I mean, there's a way.
Exactly.
I mean.
So to me, it's more living in the presence than YOLO,
Well, see, I look at it, and I walked away from the mic, bent away from it a little bit. My essence of YOLO of you only live once is don't let an opportunity go by because you may not have that again.
Right.
But when you have that opportunity, enjoy the opportunity.
Absolutely.
You don't rush through it like you're kind of inferring. Yes, I wanted to. Let's go for example, going to Disney. Mm-hmm. Great, go to Disney World, have fun, but don't rush through the park just to get in line so you can get on a ride. Enjoy the scenery, enjoy the characters walking by, enjoy the other patrons that are there with families, and seeing the laughter in the kids, especially with the kids that are with their parents that are smiling because they see one of the characters. Enjoy that moment beyond the fact of just, I wanted to go to Disney, I went to Disney, and I want to get on all the rides and rush through everything.
Yes. If anything, that builds more anxiety. You know how many times we've gone to Disney, not by my own choosing, how many times we've gone to Disney or to different places and people they're not enjoying the experience. Meanwhile, they're taking pictures of smiling and then they're screaming right before the picture.
Because nobody's in the right pose so they can take a selfie.
and it's so absurd to me. And I'm like, that's just a moment.
Yeah.
You have this whole time and you just ruined a moment and you put a huge damper on this day because of that. Well, that's insane to me.
Well, and I've had conversations with the girl I've been dating about.
Your girlfriend?
Yes.
Yeah. The girl I've been dating?
Well, never mind.
Let me tell you, if I'm ever dating somebody and they're like, the girl I've been dating, I'm like, mofo, hey, got a name.
Well, I didn't want to share the proper label online. So, okay. So
why? May I ask?
just as not to jinx it.
Aww.
So, but anyway.
You know, I don't see it like that.
But-
okay, I feel like that's a terrible energy. Like, you're like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. You own it, man.
I do.
Manifestation power.
Let's go back.
All right, let's go back to the bucket list. Sorry.
Well, no, let's go
No?
back to.
Oh, just kidding. YOLO?
The YOLO thing.
No. I told you, we never, even when we have a topic, we don't stick to the topic.
Taking the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We always commented with each other. We want to start having pictures to, taking more pictures together
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But at the same time, we don't want that to be the priority of the moment. We want to be able to just be in that moment.
Yes.
So that's where it's important.
Yeah. No,
it's-
absolutely.
And with my bucket list, with the traveling, it's my hope with her to be now being with her would be to go and experience different locations every couple years. Every year, one or two places, allowing vacation and finances.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it comes together.
Okay. That is not how you manifest. The hopefulies.
Well,
We'll have a whole.
we'll go to.
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
a
another
whole
chapter.
other
That'll be
episode.
another chapter.
Yeah.
But I have a plan. I'm shooting for it.
Okay.
Which I never had in the past. I have a new vision.
Okay.
So going back to bucket list, what is yours?
So basically, you're saying it's not just about YOLO, but how you YOLO
Correct.
is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. I got you. My bucket list is it is traveling. I've always wanted to travel and abroad, here in the States. I don't care. I like new experiences. I love doing new things. I love broadening my horizons. I just enjoy it overall. I don't care who I'm with as long as they have a positive attitude and they're the kind of person that goes with the flow.
That's why we haven't gone anywhere because
Yeah, you have like an idea of what you want to do. I'm like, I don't really give a crap. I just want to enjoy the moment and see where the breeze takes us, and that's where I go. And I'm very satisfied with that. Because
I need to loosen up a little bit more.
If I'm working every single day of my life and at work, you have a timeline. You know that you are already on a time budget, right? And you're restricted. And then after that, I have a child. We're going here, we're going there. We have to do this. We have to get all kinds of things all situated. On top of that, you still have to take care of yourself. You have to cook dinner. You have to exercise. You have to maintain yourself so you don't look like you're 75 when you're like 40. When, all kinds of things that you've got to get done, right? When I say you've got to get done, I'm using, air quotations because you don't have to get these things done, right? So when I'm on vacation mode, I don't want any plans. Don't give me a time that I have to get somewhere. I'm going to leave my house whenever the heck I feel like leaving. I will get there whenever I get there, and I am fine by that because I don't like stress. I need to go pee when I need to go pee. And if that means I take 5 stops because I drink a gallon of freaking water, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to fret about it. And I don't care.
You go with the flow.
I go with the flow. But
and as much as I try to live that more, I still have those barriers and those struggles sometimes because
we all have barriers and we all have our own struggles.
Well, speaking of the girlfriend again, one of the early conversations we had was about being spontaneous.
Yeah,
and I joked about I'm very spontaneous as long as I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. That is the opposite of spontaneity.
That was the whole point
being spontaneous. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't say the word right now.
We can't speak English today.
Oh my gosh.
But that was the whole point of the comment. It was jokingly saying, I'll be spontaneous as long as I can plan for the spontaneity.
Yeah.
So she laughed at that. She adored that. So
yeah, no. So that's in my bucket list. I would really like, no, let me rephrase that. I will have one day the a nice small house. I don't want anything big, with a garden, the vegetable garden and fruit garden. I do want to live sustainably. And not to say that I won't go to the grocery stores or anything. I'm not saying that at all. But I just want to live a very laid back life. So my goal for myself on my bucket list is that in 5 years' time, that's going to be all mine.
Well, good for you.
That's my bucket list. It's between traveling, because I don't want anything big. I want to pick up and go.
Yeah.
And travel wherever the heck it is I want to travel. I want to show my daughter that, yes, electronics are great. I'm not going to knock down all the advancements that we have made because of it. But we also have to get down to the core and back to ourselves and who we are, and actually using our brains in the way that electronics can't give us.
Yes. Yeah. Technological advancements have decayed a lot of self-reliance and self-efficiency in a lot of us.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. And kind of parallel what you said there is I also see, my bucket list, girlfriend, actually getting married, having our own house, having a yard where the dogs can run in the yard,
Yeah.
I think I'm still at a point that I can have children, maybe have a kid or two.
She is.
Well, yeah, she is,
You can't have children at all. I mean, you could.
Well,
but you can't birth them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Now, we're not getting in a woke area here. Jeez. That's for a whole nother episode that we will avoid.
Yes, we will.
But things that you would normally think about in your 20s and 30s, I am now thinking more of in my mid-level age here.
Yeah.
Because those possibilities and those capabilities and that hope and vision and desires are now seem more realistic and more at reach than it ever did when I was younger.
Okay.
So that's my bucket list.
Well, I like your bucket list.
Well, thank you.
I like your bucket list. It's nice and it's simple. I know that I seem very quiet. I'm really, what you said is like I'm repeating it in my head. You just got through saying that what you have now is not something that you felt was attainable back then. Correct? And I don't want this to become a therapy session, but you know how I like psychology. So I'm wondering why you think that's the case. Why do you think that wasn't a possibility back at that age? Or did you not want it to be a possibility back at that age?
That is such a loaded question for an episode that should be ending in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to go very straightforward, very basic.
Okay. Just give me the Cliff Notes versions.
I think one was my living conditions at the time.
Okay.
I still lived with my parents, to a very older age and all that. So that's a factor. Being financially sound was another factor.
Gotcha.
Having a job that I knew was a growth opportunity, having good wage and being paid what I deserved and all that stuff to have the capability of doing certain things.
I see.
All those things never really aligned. It was only when I was 30 that a couple of those pieces started falling together.
Gotcha.
But it took me also just mentally and self-confidence and self-esteem and all that for probably this next 20 years of knowing that I was worth to be with somebody to be able to go next to that next level and all that. Not to say that I haven't been with certain people throughout those years or pursued certain people throughout those years, but those.
But it was nothing solid.
It was never anything solid.
Sure.
A lot of them backfired. I got emotionally attached to people that I probably shouldn't have, and then I got damaged. And so, I mean, we all have our
emotional baggage that takes a long time to
overcome,
Sure.
to self-reflect and all that. That's why people go to see therapists and all that. And and I have done that many years ago. I find my own self-reflection helps me a lot, nowadays compared to my lifestyle at the time, going to certain places on a regular basis versus just living a more quiet, peaceful, introverted life versus extroverted.
But at the same time, you were living that way because of your emotional baggage that you were carrying around that you were trying to avoid by doing those things. But technically,
somehow this show is becoming a therapy session.
I told you, it's what I do. I'm very sorry.
But I was in a catch-22.
I hope this helps people.
I hope people understand that you're not alone.
Yeah, no, you're not.
We've all have had our problems, our issues, stuff that we have to overcome. I was in a catch-22. If I didn't do one thing, I was stuck doing another thing.
Yeah.
And either I was going to be emotionally drained here or I was going to get emotionally drained there.
Yeah.
So it was like the best of two evils, so to speak.
Yeah.
But now I'm comfortable with the way I am, way I'm living, who I'm with, what I do, and all that. I feel like I got a good job that's outside of this, that's giving me a decent living to be able to do stuff like I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
And I can take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And with that, the universe has blessed me with finally having a girlfriend that is reciprocal in sentiments and feelings and all that. And now it's just, taking it to the next step.
That's why I asked. The reason why I ask is because, number one, I know your story. I mean, I've known your story. I wanted you to share whatever it is you were comfortable sharing with everybody else. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to make sure that it's your story to tell, not mine. That's first and foremost. But secondly, I remember when you came out here those years ago. How long has it been now?
It's going to be 4 years.
4 years. Okay, 4 years. When you came out here a while back ago, and we had a conversation a while back ago, and 3 months later, you moved out here.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of adjustment and adjusting, and there's
that's her combining languages again.
Good golly. But anyways, it took a while. But the more you got, it took a while to undo, or not undo, but unpack your own, your ways of thinking. And not that you have let go of all of it, because you can't live an entire life thinking a certain way and then packing more on top of that. And then all of a sudden just
you can't
roll everything out. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, that doesn't work that way. And you can never say you never lived without regrets, because you're always going to have, everybody's going to have some regret of some decision.
I disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yes, we will save that for the next episode maybe. But I am going to disagree with that. But where the hell was I going with this? Oh, yes. So your energy, right? So you completely changed a little bit at a time, right? They Correct. Were minor steps to get to where you are today.
Correct.
And as you changed, your mindset changed.
Correct.
And the more your mindset changed, the more you realized you are worthy of something better.
Correct.
The more you thought you were worth something, you were worth more and deserved something better, what came along?
Stuff that came better.
Stuff that came better.
Yeah.
That's called the power of manifestation.
True.
That is why, and it came by because I said manifestation at the very beginning, right? I said it. I don't remember why I said it, but I know I said it. And I knew the moment you said that, I'm going to bring it back to that, because I had to have said it for a reason or another.
Well, it's timing of stuff.
It's yeah.
But
that's the whole point to everybody who's out there listening, and they think that you're living a crap show right now. Consider how you're thinking and what your thoughts are and the situation that you're at and how you're able to better that and who you're surrounding yourself with.
yes, and not to go on a religious tangent on all of this either. Be it no matter how you feel the manifestation and what it is that it be it whatever religion, God, Muhammad or whatever Allah or whatever it is that you feel is going to help you in your guidance. The important thing is to believe there's going to be a better day.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Tomorrow's another day. It will be better than today. It is better than yesterday.
Believe it and feel it.
And believe it and feel it.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
As much as I got down, I believed that the next day would be better, to persevere to whatever would be the next day.
And what made you get there?
A lot of it was friends and family to tell me you're going to be okay. That is part of it. I have friends that are very religious that says, I will pray for you and all that. So that extra energy came along as well. But the bottom line is I needed to believe it myself.
Yes.
And for the longest time, I was lost.
Yeah. But the point is that the more you surround yourself with good people that are wanting to lift you up and not take and drag you down, the more you're able to get in the right frame of mind in order for you to have those positive thoughts.
The more people that I had around me that were more willing to push me forward than actually drain me. Yeah. Definitely helped.
Yeah.
And again, it was a matter of a creature of environment and stuff that I got myself into. Sure. But boy, that was a thick episode. Jeez.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we did not make you cry. I hope we gave you a light of hope as like a lighthouse on the bay. Yes. Guide your ship to,
Oh, I just got chills.
Soft seas. And we appreciate you listening to this episode that went in 3 different directions. But
I think they're used to it by now.
I think they are used to it by now.
If not, they're certainly getting used to it.
So thanks again. We'll catch you on the flip side. This is Jay.
This is A.
Thank you for listening to the Unfiltered Grapevine. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the Unfiltered Grapevine. Please visit our website, unfilteredgrapevine.com, and become a Patreon member, or visit our merchandise shop and purchase one of our several products. Like and subscribe. We'll listen to you next time. Thanks again. Bye.